Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, in this episode of Behind the Screen, we are going to discuss with you an awesome tips to improve our online teaching as Asatiza. But before we go further, let me introduce myself. I am Ustazah Siti Zubaida, Assistant Head of Education at Al-Islam Mosque. And here with me today is Ustazah Aida.
Yes, I'm Ustazah Aida and I am the coordinator in charge of Teens and Youth Alive in Al-Islam Mosque Madrasah.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay, before we start further, I will introduce you to our moderator. She is Ustazah Maria. Okay, Ustazah Maria.
Assalamualaikum everybody, I'm Ustazah Mara and I'm in Madrasah Al-Islam Mosque as Assistant Twins Coordinator, and today I'll be your moderator for today. So inshallah, before we start, I would like to just inform all of you that we have our worksheet. So you can scan the QR code or you can copy back the link below to get the worksheet, so you will not be lost in this ongoing workshop inshallah. So let's move on to awesome online teaching skills as Asatiza. Okay, today I would like to share with you our first quote. Being awesome is not by simply being. So what does this mean? Can both one of you, Ustazah Zubaida or Ustazah Aida, share with us what are your thoughts for this quote? Tafaddal mashkura.
Okay, Ustazah Maria, thank you for the first quote. Being awesome is not by simply being. Okay, everyone can be awesome, right? So it says here that when we want to be awesome, we must be, we must upgrade ourselves. Kita kena upgrade, kita kena tunjukkan, the uniqueness of us to the rest. Okay, so by being unique to ourselves, when you show it to others, then the others will say, oh, okay, Ustazah ni awesome because she is different or he is different from the rest of us. As Asatiza, okay, I remember this quote also being quoted by one of the Asatiza in one of my training. I can't remember when or where. She said that, okay, we have many Asatiza, like thousands of Asatiza here in Singapore, but how do we teach, for example, teach Solat? Do we teach like one particular method? Kalau semua bayangkan the 7,000 or 10,000 of Asatiza using just only one method to teach Solat, rasanya boring kan? So we must create the uniqueness, the alternative ways or methods untuk ajar Solat. So by that, we simply create our awesomeness.
Yes,
right?
true. And being awesome also is not just by simply being, actually is more than that. It takes more than just being awesome to be an awesome Asatiza.
Yes, correct. Okay, that's our opinion now, Ustazah Maria.
Alright, Masya Allah. So, Asatiza, let's watch this video, okay, on online teaching goes wrong. So let's see if you are being part of one of the video inside. So let's watch this video.
Morning, girls. It's so lovely to be in your homes today, and I look forward to us going on.
Coffee.
Sit up on that and
Cooks, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to upload the video for the kids on my
Your camera's on, man.
Which means that it's two words that we put together to make another word.
So I'm going to just share one Bible verse with you today.
And the I'm gone.
Blessing of God.
Moon and light form moonlight. The next word we have is cooler bag. Cooler bag can also be a compound word, cooler and then bag.
And he was always the hero.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be starting term 2 with you.
And we have got Simon, I'm recording. Oh gosh.
So
So, my advice for studying this section: keep 2 timelines. Keep one for the opposition movements or the liberation movements, and then one for what the government.
Okay, Ustazah Aida, just now the video really tells a lot about home-based learning, online teaching, okay, all those happen to us, isn't it?
Yes,
right.
correct.
So your experience apa-apa yang menarik tak?
Yeah, based on my experience, when I was doing my online teaching, my sisters dropped down like one stack of pot on the floor, so that one cannot be helped. Not only is it, the pot is broken, but also the sound, the background sound interrupting the session, and then all the students on the screen goes like.
Apa tu?
Yes.
Okay, for myself, because I have a young toddler, right, 3 years old. Okay, kalau buat online recording ke apa kan, mesti dia enter frame lah so that's kind of normal lah during this online teaching
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward from the video, okay, we want to check of this abbreviation or acronym of WESOME. Okay, we want to give you the simple tips. Okay, the first one. Okay, Ustazah Maria.
Alright, the first one, thank you Ustazah. The first one will be the audience check. What is this audience check doing of? So what this is so important for us to check our audience for to be more improved in our teaching online. So can one of Asatiza here or Ustazah Zuhaida or Ustazah Aida can share to us what is really important about this audience check? Tafadhal Ustazah.
Okay, for the audience check, right, before we present ourselves to the online community ataupun to our students, to the online online people there, okay, we must know who actually we are delivering the message to. Are they the young people? Are they the toddler group? Are they the preschool group? Are they the teenage group or youth? Okay, all these mainkan peranan. Sometimes at the online platform yang kita gunakan also, we want to reach the audience as a mass, okay, multiple age group. So why we say that audience check is very important, because from there we can actually deliver our message, target the message to the proper profile. Yes. Okay, that is very important.
Yeah. Not only that, also to cater to the audience background, to see which culture they come from, or what their life norms has been. So that's in a way for us to deliver our lessons more effectively.
Yes, correct. But before we go further on audience check, kita tengok video ni. Okay.
Cikgu suka main bola. Hari-hari cikgu main bola. Cikgu suka main bola. Hari-hari cikgu main bola. Cikgu suka main bola. Hari-hari cikgu tidur. Cikgu sudah tidur. Mari kita main.
Okay, that video kan, Ustazah Aida, my favorite video lah of all, because when you see that is the cikgu hari-hari main bola, something like that, and then among one of the students yang ramai-ramai itu semua ikut dengar tengok kan apa yang the teacher suruh kan, but one of the student actually stood up and have the initiative to tinggalkan the lesson like that, alright, and instruct the rest, and because of one orang kata yang the sort of bijak sangat ni, okay, yang lain semua affected juga. Alright, so you can see that it's an audience check juga. Okay, kita cannot assume that all of our especially in our classroom, right? We cannot assume that all of the students in our classroom semuanya sama.
Yes.
Right? We must actually prepare ourselves that every one of each own atau dorang semua unique. Okay, we cannot assume that semuanya kena belajar yang the same method, the same approach, right? Yes. Okay, so back to this on the worksheet here. Okay, the first one we highlight here is the background profile, for example, age group or the Islamic knowledge. Okay, as you said just now,
Yes, correct. And also it's important to know what kind of prior knowledge your students have in order for you to gilapkan lagi ilmu yang dorang dah ada tu, and also to relate to the lessons that you are teaching.
Yes, correct.
So it's very important.
Yeah, that is that important yang you said about the Islamic knowledge background. Okay, we cannot assume that our students semua ni dah tahu tentang Prophet Muhammad, for example, Muhammad SAW. Okay, we cannot assume that semua student kita dah tahu baca hijaiyah letters alif to ya properly. Okay, some of them may need some catch up. Okay, even though umur diorang dah probably 12 years old, still struggling to read hijaiyah letters, we don't know. Alright. Okay, yes. The second one is speak the lingo. For example, communication, verbal expression, and articulation.
Yes, this one also one of the most important tools when you are delivering your lesson online or offline. Okay, because our students, they speak different language than us. Okay, we don't know what kind of language they use at home. Okay, and when we talk to them, we must know their level. So we are not using like extravagant words to explain about things, so that simple things, use simple words, simple language that they understand on their level.
Yes, this reminds me of there was because I vet lesson content for the online lesson for Al-Islah, right? I remember one of the asatiza used this word. I think for the kids 2 is 6 years old. Alright, so it's about surah Alam Nashrah. It's about expanding chest. I mean, like if you read literally the translation of the surah, it says about expanding chest. But when you try to explain to young children, the children will actually articulate it as how do you expand your chest. Okay, itu satu. The second thing is when we talk about struggles and all that to a young 5 years old or 6 years old, we cannot simply use the word of anxiety. Betul tak? Anxiety tu macam word dah besar-besar. Like the youth kids, maybe they understand. But for 5 years old or 6 years old, they don't really understand what is anxiety or stress. Because for that level, they actually have fun. Kalau orang naughty pun, for them is fun. Okay. But we don't really say, if you do this and that, okay, it will cause you anxiety and stress to a 5 years old. So it's a no-no, right? Okay, so we must speak the lingo. We must know the age appropriateness of what kind of terms of words we want to use to our viewers. Alright, and the last one is the all-rounded approach for VAK. Okay, in education, VAK is very important. Okay, in apa pun kita ajar, we must always remember to execute our VAK. So what is a VAK? Okay, let's discuss first about the visual. Okay, so visual is the V. So visual is make sure that our online teaching includes this: posters, mind map, post-it notes, note taking. Also must selitkan sikit YouTube clips. Okay, then color coding maybe when you do the mind map. Okay, to make it interesting. Okay, and then timelines, grid table, chart, fact list, and Facebook profiles such that. Okay, that's the example. So during the online learning too, okay, it won't dry up. Okay, it won't dry up because of the visual. For example, if you want to show Mecca and Madinah, okay, you can actually, keluarkan the map, okay, the map and show, oh, this is Mecca and this is Madinah. Or maybe dekat screen too, you can actually Google map it, okay, from Singapore to Mecca, how long, what the distance is, okay, what is the distance, what is the kilometers. So the students or the viewers rasa macam, oh, this is, this is our world from Singapore to here to there. Yes. And when we talk about Ethiopia, for example, kan ada kan dekat Afrika dan sebagainya kan, Mesir, Cairo and all that, you show the map, kan, so jadi budak faham ataupun student tu faham where is it exactly. Yeah.
Or maybe you can on your PowerPoint slide you can just add on some animation, how the words entering the frame, and then how the word exit the frame, and then on top of that you put colors, and then the font also play important role. Okay, do not use the kind of font that's too curvy or too cursive. Okay, people cannot read. So use the one that is bold and easy to read. Yeah, that one can capture the visual kind of students.
Yes, but always remember less is more. But too much of animation also boleh pening kepala. But too less also macam tak ada effort. So that's moderately lah.
And not too wordy, because when you put in too much words, the students cannot capture which is the important words for that particular slide.
Just the keyword or keynotes.
Yes, correct.
Yes, and next is the auditory. Okay, having said that, right, I know my style is visual, okay, and I know Ustazah Aida is auditory. Can you explain more on this?
Auditory, I just need the voice of the speaker not monotonous, so it must have some kind of tones. So when we listen to them, then we can capture what are the what are they trying to say, and I don't mind spending 2 hours listening and taking notes.
When you said about monotonous kan, I remember I used to have a lecture very monotonous, and then lepas tu I fall asleep. Okay, macam so that's the thing when we do our online teaching, right, make sure that the atau the rhythm of our voice, the tone of our voice must be like macam not too low, not too high. Okay, kalau high sangat nanti people may assume that are you angry ke apa ke kan. Kalau too low, are you sleepy? Alright, so make sure that your lingo is there lah, macam the rhythm is there. So make sure that the YouTube clips ada sound. And then lepas tu ada some discussions going on. A lot of discussion has been posted online also. We can actually make it an example lah, for our students or our audience to look at. Alright.
And also use some background music when you put your video on pause. Then you put in the music that one can help this auditory student.
I see. Okay. Yes, that is fantastic tips, Ustazah. Okay, the last one is the kinesthetic. Okay, with this is kinesthetic is more to the hands-on, the part of hands-on. Okay, where make sure that during the online discussion atau online teaching tu, there are part of activity that ada hands-on activity, or make sure that you can instruct your student to actually take notes. Okay, just like our worksheet just now kan ada fill in the blank, right? So you can actually take note the keywords, so you can actually belajar ataupun memorize simply. Okay.
Yes, or you can use whatever tools that you have online to make sure they can doodle or they can write on it. Okay, so some kind of movement that will not make the lesson boring, or very dry.
Yes, okay. So you can take this example, the VAK example, on the slide that I've shown you. Okay, so this is part of the improvement that you can do, right, Asatiza? Okay, Ustazah Maria.
Alright, thank you so much for the awesome tips and sharing. Alhamdulillah. So next, I'm going to share with you all about the second quote. Okay, what is the second quote? Tell us. Okay, don't try to fix the students, fix ourselves first. The good students superior. So what is this actually? Saya macam kurang faham about this quote. Macam dia nak cakap benda ni macam tu. So can Asatiza can explain to us more, insyaAllah. Tafadhal mashkura.
Okay, for this, right, I know that the principle to reach happiness is to fix ourselves in order to be happy, right? For example, like if you want to love others, okay, you have to love yourself, then you can love others. Just simply like in classroom juga, as a teacher, okay, if you want to have an improved classroom atau very good students, you have to improve yourself first. Okay, which means if you want to have a good teaching, you want to have your children or students to have absorb the knowledge very fast, so you have to revise back what is the methods that you use, what's the approach you use. Okay, so and to ensure that the students all semuanya belajar dengan cara yang baik. Okay, so this is basically the quotes to ourselves lah, what the area that we can improve on.
So when you want to deliver your lesson, when your students are unable to understand what you are teaching, do not put the blame on them for not being able to understand. Instead, ask yourself, what should I improve more to ensure my student understand what I'm saying, or in what ways I should actually rectify myself first before I rectify my students.
So that's the quote for the explanation quote lah, Ustazah Maria.
Masya Allah, wonderful. Baru saya faham sekarang.